9 News at Noon starts right now.
Starting your noon off with a live look outside. Well, it is gorgeous. We're looking at the Denver city skyline out there, nice and sunny, but it is chilly. It's hard to believe we actually got snow over the weekend. Thanks for joining me for 9 News at Noon. I'm Sam Shocker, and that little bit of snow we got yesterday already melted off. In fact, experts say that when it comes to our snowpack, we're really behind. And at this time last year, Winter Park had more than 70 inches of snow. This year, it's sitting at 41 inches. In Denver, we saw 23 inches of snow by the time 2025 rolled around. And so far this year, we've had just more than 4 inches. That's it. We talked to a climate scientist who tracks this kind of data. She says we need to see more snow and we need to see it soon. But thankfully, she says we have a few more months of potential.
Each week that passes by, it gets a little bit harder to make up, but I do always like to remind people that we will still get winter. January and February are big months for the mountains. So it really needs to kickstart very soon, or there's not going to be a chance.
So speaking of that snow, joining me now is Ben Cathy with our 9 News Weather Impact team. So Ben, everybody's curious. Are we going to see any chance of snow before the new year?
Just after the new year, Sam, it looks like, as we head to the far western parts of Colorado. But I want to take you into Denver. 6.6, believe it or not, DIA picking up about 2 inches. I know a lot of you around the metro area didn't have quite that, but through the end of the year, historically, 20.8. Boy, seems like a long way away. More trails are opening, though. Eldora, 26%, Vail, 17%. Some, though, are under 10% open. But boy, we're carving through the powder. Well, I'm not bum knee here, but others are carving through the powder at Copper Mountain. Aspen as well. The line was almost extending down to the roadside a little earlier. And in beautiful Ouray, it's all quiet right now. Live radar, you see that flash, there's ground clutter through Black Canyon to the Gunnison. It's 32 at the station. Really sluggish to warm up in many spots. Fort Lupton 23, but 41 in Conifer. How about that, despite a little bit more snow? 44 Denver. Next 3 days, yeah, no snow, Sam, yet. We're crossing our fingers for a few more of the runs to open.
Ben, thank you. New court filings show that Children's Hospital Colorado is fighting back against a federal subpoena. It's a legal battle that could shape gender-affirming care across the nation. 9 News reporter Courtney Yoon has the update.
This litigation centers around whether the federal government can force access to patient information. Children's Hospital Colorado is pushing back on the subpoena, which seeks medical and employment records related to gender-affirming care, and that's all according to recently unsealed court documents. In a statement sent to 9 News over the weekend, a spokesperson from the hospital said, quote, "The subpoena unreasonably sought to obtain this information without a legitimate legal purpose, so Children's Hospital Colorado sought protection from a federal court." Back in July, the Department of Justice served Children's Hospital Colorado with an administrative subpoena ordering the release of patient records, internal emails, policies, and staff information tied to the provision of gender-affirming care. The case was previously sealed at the hospital's request, citing patient privacy and preventing fear in the community. Those newly released court filings show Children's is asking the judge to throw out the subpoena as overly broad and a threat to patient privacy. At the same time, the Trump administration is doubling down. Just last week, Health and Human Services Secretary RFK Jr. signed a declaration claiming gender-affirming medical care for minors is neither safe or effective.
So-called gender-affirming care has inflicted lasting physical and psychological damage on vulnerable young people. This is not medicine, it is malpractice.
Earlier this month, Colorado's Democratic Attorney General was joined by 20 other states in a brief supporting Children's Hospital Colorado. They argue the DOJ campaign is harassing and beyond their authority. In Aurora, Courtney Yoon, 9 News.
And Colorado Democrats have set dates for an election to fill 2 vacant seats in the legislature. House Democrats are set to meet on January 11th to elect a new representative for House District 29. The seat was left vacant after Representative Shannon Byrd announced her resignation. She's leaving to focus on her campaign for Colorado's highest contested 8th congressional district. Republican Gabe Evans currently holds that seat. On January 12th, Dems will meet to elect a new representative for House District 33. The seat was recently left vacant after Dems selected State Representative William Lindstedt to fill Faith Winter's seat in the legislature. Winter was killed in a crash on I-25 near DTC the night before Thanksgiving. The start of the new year on Thursday means new laws are hitting the books. 19 will take effect. So that includes legislation requiring gun show promoters to prepare security plans, a law that makes fees for child care centers refundable if a child is not enrolled after 6 months, and one that classifies bison as big game unless they are livestock. That's meant to protect them from hunting. And New Year's celebrations are notorious for heavy drinking, so Colorado law enforcement agencies are cracking down on drunk driving. CDOT and CSP have started its enforcement period looking for drunk drivers. CDOT says drivers should expect to see more law enforcement officers on the roads. CSP data shows drunk driving citations spike between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. on New Year's, and it comes as new data is showing Colorado is on track to surpass last year's DUI arrests. State officials say more than 16,000 DUI arrests are expected by the end of the year. That means, on average, there were more than 1,300 arrests each month this year. And if you're trying to figure out how you're going to be getting to and from your New Year's celebrations, all RTD services will be free from 7 p.m. on the 31st through 7 a.m. on the 1st. You don't need to do anything to qualify for the free rides, just show up. RTD says customers should keep an eye on the schedules for the buses and trains because some won't actually be running after midnight.